So this proves that you can in fact DIY your own dash cam in a BMW. And this is a G01 2020. What is up everybody, my name is Brett, and today we'll be installing a Viofo A229 dash cam. It's a 2K 2-channel dash cam in my new to me, or brand used 2020 BMW X3 M40i. Ultimately, they had the most off for the Memorial Day sale, and they also have a price match guarantee. Either I think 30 or 60 days after you buy a camera, you can go back and email them, they'll price match it. However, I actually was on a live chat with them, like, well, I see Viofo selling it right on their Amazon account for almost $100 less, so they actually came down and matched the price. Now, my total was still more than had I bought it on Amazon because I ordered the stuff needed to go with it. I have a 256 gigabyte micro SD card. This will give me, with a 2K 2-channel system, about 8 hours, according to Black Fox My Car Support. If I did a card half the size, 128 gigabyte card, I would have 4 hours. And it's not so much that I cared about having 8 hours, because if something happens, you're going to hit that this button right here on the camera, the middle one, the yellow triangle, the emergency button, and it's going to lock 15 seconds before and I think 30 seconds after of footage, and it can't be deleted. A reason I actually selected this camera over the others is looking at the YouTube comparison videos where it shows multiple cameras on the same car filmed at the same time. Being able to pause it and then pick out license plates, this camera does an amazing job. This has the newest Sony Starvis sensor. So let's go ahead and open this thing up. See what we can. Wow, okay, good fitting box. Let's see what else we have here in the box. Alright, customer service card. Ooh, two static mount stickers. Basically what you do is you put these on your windshield and almost like a window cling, and then you pull off your backing and you stick it on there. Maybe you're sticking it in a rental car and you don't want the sticky adhesive on the windscreen. Put this on. It'll come right off. You can reuse it, so that's pretty cool. USB cable. Here is the rear camera. Plastic panel pry tool. Cigarette lighter cable. The cable that connects the rear camera to the front. They were touting that with this new generation of Viofo cameras, it's much thinner and that's easier to install. And this is definitely a pretty thin cable. Cool. So let's get started. Okay, so the first order of business is removing this A-pillar. Take your plastic pry tool, get it underneath, or to get in with your fingers. Pop the two tabs, and there's actually a hex screw in there. So pull that out, and it should come right off. All right, so just got my pry tool, got my hand behind her, and I pulled. There are 3 loud snaps. Those are the clips. And then you just pull it up, and it comes out. Next thing we need is to get to our fuse box. So there's actually two tabs, quarter turn. I'm not sure which way. All right, there we go. Oh yeah, that came down. And over here, there's one. Pull it down, bring it forward. Bring it forward just a little bit actually, and then down. It is hooked up, but that's okay. This does not need to come out. I'm not gonna undo this and pull it out. Right up in there. Okay, so to actually pull this panel off, you need to remove this. Get behind it, and it'll come out. So that's what we're gonna do here, is we're gonna pull. Perfect. Just got it. Just a bunch of clips. Just a little stubborn. Sneak it through here. Come out right in here. It's a good cavity to store all the excess wire. It comes right down here to our fuse box, which is right back here. So now we have the A-pillar exposed, so we can run our hard wire or your cigarette lighter cord down here. You just want to be careful that you run it behind your curtain airbag, because if you're in an accident, this plate keeps it so it goes down, and it would pop your panel out from here. Okay, it doesn't go out this way, it comes down. as you can see. So you don't want it anywhere here. And I'm sure everyone's tucking it in right there. I don't know if I would do that. I would put it behind. So that's what we're gonna do. And plus, when you're coming in from the top here anyway, you are better off coming behind. And then when we're running the rear camera, we're gonna go, you know, along here. Okay, so I decided on a spot for the dash cam. I actually had to end up using the cigarette outlet cord anyway, and then I plugged it in and I turned on the screen. That way I could see what it was, and I know it was actually level here, so I lined it up with our top of our garage door there. I looked at it from the screen and was able to maneuver it as I stuck it on, and I test fitted it with this cable here. And what I was looking at is, I don't know why, but why did they put this in the worst spot possible? It's like, do we really need that? So I actually, I tucked the cable under here already, and if you pull it, you know, I can get more. If I pull it this way, it goes this way. What I want to do is actually pull off this cover. I just pried down, there was clips, it came right out. I'm actually giving myself more cable, and I'm going to try to feed this big end right in here, because if I just hook this up and I gave myself just enough room to plug it into the USB cable, I gotta wiggle it in from the side, and if I twist the cable and push, it snaps right in. So I gave myself just enough room for that. But even if I tuck all this cable up, I still have that much, and it's not, I don't really want this visible at all. So I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna put it through this hole, because there's a small cavity. Okay, so I realized something. I'm not gonna get through here. That hole that I was looking at, it's actually touching the glass. It is not possible. It is completely flush with the glass all the way around. Just right, tuck it in behind here, and I have just enough cable to run right along here, and it plugs right in. Now, if this is not as tight as possible, I mean, I don't know what is. And as far as the second channel camera, I'm using the 90-degree end here. I don't care what it looks like in the back, it's small anyway. And we're gonna plug this in, and we're just gonna have this go right like this. Tuck it in right behind. I'm gonna work it across. I'm gonna run it all the way to the rear. So that is, I don't know how much more low profile of an install you can get. And again, when I'm sitting from the driver's seat, I couldn't even see it because it's behind this mirror. So we're sitting, well, I'll sit over here and hold the camera in front of my face then, but you just can't see it. Maybe the bottom a little, but that's really cool. So I'm gonna work on that and run this cable along here, work it all the way under and back behind here, and all the way back and across. And a quick thing about the airbag here, this goes pretty far back. The airbag actually goes all the way to here. So I am running this cable behind the airbag. Okay, way back there. I am not running it right here. I'm running it behind the rolled up airbag. Because again, when it comes down, what it's doing, it's not busting a hole through this, it's just untucking. You know, I have the weather strip peeled back here, but it's just untucking it and coming through right here. It's just undoing itself, and it's gonna push it right down. So I'm rolling it along here, pushing it way back. I'm feeling it with my fingers, so it is not in the way. And I'm pretty sure that the rear has them too, the curtain airbags. Or maybe not, because it looks like it's in that pillar, so it probably goes forward. Yeah. Well, that took long enough, but we actually made it back here. So I have it tucked in, coming back to here. Okay, so we're using a, what do we have here? A T20. By the way, up front to remove the airbag A-pillar cover. That was a T25, so now I'm using a T20. It's one size smaller. Looks like I can get this cover off, and these are not, it's just a plastic part, so I'm actually breaking it loose just with my fingertips here. Okay, I got the cover pulled off, and if you just get your fingers behind here, it's plastic clips. I can pull this right out, and I wish I did that before I tried tucking the wire, but I can get this out, and that'll give me access. All right, I think that clip just fell down. I'll get it, but that'll give me access so I can run it up and through, and we can get it in here. It does not look like this comes apart. I don't even care if it does. I'm not gonna bother. I'll run it along the outside here and zip tie it around. I might not even do that, but I'm gonna leave plenty of slack, so as this opens and closes, we're not gonna have any issues that way. So we're gonna take this, pull this panel out. Not sure if I can do this one-handed. How it comes out. Okay, here we go. Just lift up and out she goes. Oh, perfect. So now what I can do, I'm sorry if this keeps getting blurry. Oh, look, I see daylight. Here's a hole right here. I can just put that right through this hole. I don't know if you guys can see that too well. Oh, that was perfect. That is perfect. Just make sure it doesn't get hung up on the speaker. Give it a tug, make sure it didn't upset anything here. Nope. All right. So I think it's a matter of just pulling from somewhere. Pulling from where? There we go. Cool. Oh, and this looks like it's tucked under here. I know this will freak people out. You're just pulling on things, you don't know what you're doing. Well, okay, I'm feeling it very carefully. Oh look, all the clips are still intact. Wow, it's just a disaster, right? Okay, I could even tuck excess wiring in here too. So we are going to just tuck this up through. I think I'm gonna come behind here so this wire can hold it in place. Because it's open now, so that's as stretched as it'll be. Well, not stretched, but when it closes, though, I'm sure the cord in here, it's gonna compress, but we're gonna give some slack like that anyway. And this can just come across here. Yeah, neat. All right, so I'm gonna get a zip tie and we're gonna figure eight this and have it come out here, and I think I'll stick it in here. I'm not gonna do in here like I originally said. Okay, so I got that done. That's wedged in there. I think I'm gonna wrap that up with tape so there's no hard scratching sound or anything vibration on the road. Just to be safe. I actually tucked the wire so it comes up through here. Tucked it in here and I shoved all the wires through. Sorry for the road noise, but this will just come out, go something like this. So I'm actually gonna put, for now, back together this. Well, you know what? I'm gonna wrap this up now, put this on, put this back together. I'm gonna leave the camera loose. Any excess wiring, I don't mind a little bit being tucked in behind here, but really, I think we have just enough. We're actually gonna have to hook up the camera with the hard wire, so that way we can go and turn it on, and we can get a preview of the rear and position it. Okay, so they already stripped this up. 22 through 18, so 20 fits in there. You want to use that one to give it one good squeeze. Did you see how they did this one? Okay, so after a lunch break, we got that one installed in the rear. It's ran perfectly. The wire's completely concealed. And right about here is where the airbag, it's rolled up. The wire goes behind the airbag. I felt that with my fingers. Put it back in. There's 2 slots. And as you can see, there's 2 tongues here. They go in that groove. You push down pretty hard to put it back in. And then it pivots back into place and you can push those clips back in. Comes back here and down again behind the airbag. It's all one big airbag. And I showed earlier that wire went in, no problem. I have it going across the top here. And here you can see I have that little loop that's like right in here with the fat end of that wire. So that's out of the way. It's not here and tapping against the glass, and there's definitely no room to put it behind here, not on these cars. So that is really clean. And then as far as the fuses, I ended up using both. I think I said earlier in the video, oh, you just use one wire in the ground. It did not turn on until I plugged in the second wire. So to show what we did there, let's go to wide angle. Before I put this cover up, I did zip tie all this up. Oh no, so this one just came out. I'm gonna solder these. Be right back. Whoa, cool car. These came apart with the pigtail ends. These crimp connectors. Don't use them, just solder. I should have did it the first time. All right, so what we have, I plugged them back in. I noted the fuse locations. We're gonna put this back in. So this here and this here, there's clips. Put them in here and you pivot it up and in, and then you can do it's a quarter turn and they'll lock right in. So what I'm gonna do is set this where it goes here. There's a whole void behind your air thing. There's not really a way to stick it there, but you rest it on this, and I'm going to put this back on. It will stay. Just make sure your wires are okay. So first I'm going to get this in position. Going to get the back in. Alright, so we're on both ways. I am going to stop recording because I do not have a third arm. Okay, so I got that panel closed up. Can't see a thing. Car is completely off. And there are no lights on the dash cam. Now if we put on accessory or we start the car, we're going to get lights. Right there, power. And then when all the others come on, well, the next one over is recording. Once that comes on, then it's recording. And when I turn off this car, and it's completely down, where you lock the car, walk away, it takes about 6 minutes for the accessory mode to turn back off. The four-way indicator light actually goes dark. It's not lit anymore. This goes away. The car is actually completely powered down. This is off as well, and I checked it twice because I didn't want to drain my battery. In the HC4 hardwiring kit in there is that switch. I turned it to the lowest setting, or no, excuse me, the highest. So it's at like 12.8 volts or something. So it will physically not allow this camera to drain it anyway.
Now that this shit begins to go from side to side, let the grind break it down.